With the tools that we have in front of us, that we are doing everything that we can. We have a robust multi-agency plan to humanely manage the border through enforcement, deterrence, and diplomacy. Congress has failed to act. The president has taken action on this issue of the border since day one. And what
With Title 42 set to expire this week, Thursday, the White House is still blaming Congress for the complete lack of action on the southern border. In fact, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announcing a National Guard tactical force that will be deployed to hotspots to turn back migrants. We welcome in Cochise County, Arizona Sheriff Mark Dannels and Brandon Judd, president of the National Border Patrol Council, joining us live here. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on. We do appreciate that. Sheriff, if I could start with you. What are you expecting for your county on Thursday with Title 42 expiring? Are you prepared for a potential surge in your area? Your thoughts on that?
Well, thank you for having us, Sean. And I will say this: we haven't seen an operational plan from the federal government. What we have done is work very close with Border Patrol here at the local level, along with our state and local law enforcement. Right now, we're releasing about 400 a day here in Cochise County. But we're really known as the Godaway area, where they fight and flight from us. And let me just say it, so I don't forget to say it, Sean, is my hat goes off to Border Patrol agents out there. Their morale is low because what they were signed up to do as law enforcement professionals to protect our border is not going on right now. Washington, D.C. is in the blame game, and we're suffering the consequences of it.
I want to bring Brandon into this, and Sheriff, I'll get back to you in a moment. A couple questions for you, but Brandon, as far as the CBP goes, I know you sent out a tweet earlier on behalf of a CNN report saying federal authorities will be conducting an enforcement operation beginning today in El Paso that will reportedly target migrants who cross the border and were not processed. Then this tweet went out, the Border Patrol Union, which you're the president of, blasting that report, saying, quote, nothing like publicly announcing that dangerous people will be arrested while warning them ahead of time exactly where to run and to hide to avoid arrest. This entire operation is a sad joke, another pandering PR stunt. Serious law enforcement leaders don't behave this way. Can you elaborate on that, Brandon, and your thoughts on how this was announced?
Yeah, what we're tired of is we're tired of the political rhetoric. When you listen to Karine Jean-Pierre and she says that they've had a plan from day one, the truth of the matter is all they've offered is amnesty. They don't want enforcement measures. We've worked on the Hill. I have personally been on the Hill for many, many days, many hours I've spent on this issue, and they don't want enforcement measures. All they want is the amnesty piece of immigration reform, and that's not going to do anything to stop the border crisis that we're experiencing. If they give amnesty, all they're going to do is encourage more people to cross the border illegally. There is nothing in any one of their plans that gives us any enforcement measures. And when you look at when they blame it on Congress, if Congress fails to act, there are measures that the executive branch can take to secure our border. We saw that under President Trump. President Trump secured the border without Congress. This president could also secure the border without Congress, but instead they use political rhetoric because nobody except for a few groups fact check them. They have to be fact checked by the mainstream media, otherwise their lies become the truth. And when their lies become the truth, then the American public does not know what is truly going on. We have to have the American public's attention on this, because if we get their attention, they will push their elected officials to get this under control. We've got to get it under control.
Sheriff, I want to go back to you on this. Arizona Independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema launching some serious criticism towards President Biden about the border, about the end of Title 42. And she brought up your county, sir, on CBS News. Watch.
I was on the phone with the sheriff of Cochise County. He has gotten no information from the Department of Homeland Security or the federal government. Either the administration has that information and they're choosing not to share it, or they don't have it. And that's even more concerning.
Is she talking about you there, sir? And within that interaction, what problems is Cochise County facing specifically and regionally in that area?
Well, Sean, let me just say this. She's speaking the truth here. The federal government has not prioritized this border. And what Brandon Judd is saying also is public safety and national security and even humanitarian are not the priority of this president, this administration. They're showing that through their actions. They have opened up this border. That's why Border Patrol is so upset. Senator Sinema and I met several times last week to talk about what's going on here. In our county, we deal with primarily gotaways. I think at one time, most time, we leave the nation in gotaways in the Tucson sector. So these are people that are coming to the country. I think 1.3 million have come in the country so far under this administration that we have no idea who they are. And that's just a nominal number that we know of. What's going on this border right now with Sean is so disappointing to our country and the values we hold as Americans. America needs to unite on this one, and this president needs to lead this nation out of this because he's led us into it.
On to another story, and I'll close out with Brandon if I can. In Texas, which I'm sure you're familiar of, the man who rammed an SUV into a group of migrants at a bus stop. This in Brownsville, charged with 8 counts of manslaughter. This according to police. The driver, George Alvarez, allegedly killing 8 people and injuring at least 10 others when he plowed into a crowd at the bus stop. Officials still looking into a motive. Do you have any thoughts on this? Again, is this a coincidence? Something like this happens right before Title 42 is set to be expired. Your reaction, sir?
Well, first, nobody deserves to die just because they're in the country illegally. Those individuals that were killed, that is a true tragedy. But the problem is when counties like Cochise County, when Sheriff Dannels has to deal with illegal immigration, where he's already got a very important job to do. He is supposed to be protecting the citizens of his county from the crimes that happen there. He should not be dealing with illegal immigration. And so when you see the citizens and when you see that other agencies have to step up to do the federal government's job, they get fed up with everything that they're seeing. Again, nobody should die just because they're in the country illegally. That is a tragedy, never should have happened, and that individual should be held to account to the maximum extent of the law. But we have to stop expecting other agencies to do our job. The federal government needs to step up. The president needs to step up. He needs to do his job instead of giving us rhetoric. He should back everything up, he says, with facts. We back it up with facts. He does not. All he does is gives us political rhetoric, and that's what makes the American public so upset.
Yeah, still looking for, again, what Thursday looks like. There's expectations of tens of thousands or 10,000 a day could come across once that health policy expires Thursday. Sheriff Mark Dannels, Brandon Judd, CBP, we appreciate that. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.